I'm Craig Shaw, technical agronomist for Asgrow and DeKalb in Colorado.
And I'm Micah Seyler, district sales manager for DeKalb and Asgrow in Colorado. And we are the Corn Profit Prophets.
We're here to give you agronomic tips and tidbits to help you maximize your production
and maximize your profits.
You follow this agronomic advice, we're hopeful you too will become
a Corn Profit Prophet.
Hi there, Micah Seyler, district sales manager for DeKalb and Asgrow in Colorado, and a Corn Profit Prophet. And I'm here to talk to you today about harvestable ear counts and yield evaluation, or yield estimates. One thing I want to mention before we get into this is safety. So make sure you have some good safety glasses. As you can see, I have my sunglasses on. As the corn gets taller, and you can see some of this is stripped up, the leaves get sharp and can puncture your eye, and it makes for a not very fun situation. So make sure safety is always at the top of your mind. Early on, in one of my first videos, I talked about stand counts and stand evaluations. And when you do a stand count early on in the season, you can't count every plant that came up. And if you remember back, we mentioned that every plant that comes up 2 leaves later than everything else is basically a weed. And if you look right here, we have one of those plants. So as you can see, all the other plants around it put an ear out and are at least halfway through pollination. This plant has yet to put an ear, and being 2 leaves behind, it's not going to do anything. So when you're doing a harvestable ear count, you're going to count every ear that is pollinated and is viable out in the field. You'll do it the same method we did for stand counts. Take 17 feet 5 inches, and just that's 1/1000th of an acre, so you get your yield, or your harvestable ears from there. After you've done your harvestable ear count, you can pull an ear off and count the amount of pollinated kernels. There are 4 things that drive yield in corn. One is kernel depth. Kernel density is another. The girth, or the amount of kernels around, which is determined at V6, and the length, or the amount of kernels long, which is determined up to V12. So what you're going to do is count the total number of kernels around. They always come in 2s because it's a split ovule, and then count the amount long. I usually take off the ear and the very tip of the ear, because typically those aren't going to be average kernels. So you'll multiply those out and figure out how many kernels you have on that ear, multiply it by your total harvestable ears that you got, and divide that by anywhere from 75,000 to 100,000, depending on your kernel size and your test weight. Hey, you follow these agronomic tips and advice, and you too can become a Corn Profit Prophet.